President Trump has appeared to defend a teenage street vigilante accused of a double murder during some protests in Wisconsin. Well, live to Los Angeles, and our correspondent Sally Lockwood is standing by for us. Hello to you, Sally. Good morning. Very early morning where you are. So what did the president say?
Well, far from calling for calm, Kay, Donald Trump has defended the violence of his own supporters. He's trying to appear strong with zero tolerance for crime and for rioters, but it really depends on which side you're talking about. It feels deeply politicised and a much more complicated picture than the one that Donald Trump is presenting to people who will be voting in just 9 weeks' time, presenting himself as a president who's going to be tough on law and order. Well, let's not forget the protests in Portland, which began more than 3 months ago now, started after the killing of George Floyd in police custody in May, and now the protests in Kenosha following the shooting of Jacob Blake last weekend, again by a police officer. Now, Donald Trump has minimised any criticism of police brutality. He doesn't differentiate between violent protesters and those who've taken peacefully to the streets to protest racial injustice, of which there are thousands more. Yet when it comes to his own supporters, he doesn't condemn violent acts by them. There was a convoy of Trump vehicles, of Trump supporters, who went into Portland at the weekend, clashed with protesters, resulting in the death of one man. He called them great patriots on Twitter. And then when he was asked about Kyle Rittenhouse, the self-styled vigilante who went into Kenosha last week and now faces murder charges after shooting 2 people, well, this is what he had to say about him.
He was trying to get away from them, I guess, it looks like, and he fell, and then they very violently attacked him, and it was something that we're looking at right now, and it's under investigation, but I guess he was in very big trouble. He would have been, he probably would have been killed, but it's under investigation.
Well, Donald Trump has called his opponent weak on crime, saying no American would feel safe in Joe Biden's America. But Joe Biden responded today. He hit back and said, well, who feels safe in Donald Trump's America? And he accused the president of stoking the violence.
This president long ago forfeited any moral leadership in this country. He can't stop the violence because for years he's fomented it. You know, he may believe mouthing the words law and order makes him strong, but his failure to call on his own supporters to stop acting as an armed militia in this country shows how weak he is.
Now, Donald Trump is visiting Kenosha in a few hours' time, despite being urged to stay away by local officials as they grapple to deal with this unrest. He's not going to be meeting Jacob Blake's family. He'll be meeting law enforcement. The optics of this is all about presenting Donald Trump as a president who's tough on crime. Some say these violent scenes will only play into that message of his campaign.
For now, thank you, Sally. Don't forget the US presidential elections at the beginning of November. Extensive coverage for you here on Sky News Breakfast Show, going on the road as well, bringing you the very latest from Washington.